Today is not just another date on the calendar. The 1st of February carries a quiet shift, a subtle pause in the flow of life that most people rush past without noticing. But you didn't. You slowed down just enough for this message to reach you, and that alone speaks gently about where your heart is right now. Archangel Michael's presence is not loud, dramatic, or demanding. It arrives in moments like this, when the noise fades and your awareness opens. You may have felt lately that your mind has been full, not necessarily with fear, but with questions that keep looping back. Thoughts that return in quiet moments. Feelings that don't ask for answers yet, only understanding. This message comes not to push you forward or pull you backward, but to invite you into clarity, the kind that doesn't rush and doesn't force conclusions. Awareness begins when you allow yourself to notice what has been weighing on you without judging it. The responsibilities you've carried silently. The expectations you've placed on yourself. The emotional balance you've been trying to maintain for everyone else. Archangel Michael speaks into this space with calm assurance, reminding you that strength is not found in constant movement, but in conscious stillness. There is something important about this season of your life. It is not meant for dramatic changes or sudden decisions. It is meant for seeing clearly. For recognizing patterns. For understanding what deserves your energy and what quietly drains it. When clarity arrives, it doesn't shout. It settles in gently, like light entering a room that was never truly dark, only overlooked. You may notice that your intuition has been speaking more clearly lately. Small inner nudges. A sense of knowing without explanation. This is not coincidence. This is awareness strengthening itself. When you listen without rushing, your inner voice aligns more easily with divine guidance. And in that alignment, confusion begins to soften. Calm reflection does not mean ignoring the world or stepping away from responsibility. It means creating a peaceful space within yourself where decisions can be made without pressure. Where emotions are acknowledged instead of suppressed. Where you remember that you are allowed to pause, breathe, and simply be present. Archangel Michael's message today is rooted in reassurance. You are not behind. You are not missing something essential. You are exactly where you need to be to understand the next phase of your journey. Nothing is being taken away from you in this season. Instead, something is being clarified. As you listen, allow your shoulders to relax. Allow your thoughts to slow. There is no urgency here, only intention. Awareness grows when you give yourself permission to listen without needing immediate answers. And clarity forms naturally when you stop resisting the quiet moments meant to guide you. This message reached you because your heart was open enough to receive it. Not open in perfection, but open in honesty. And that is more than enough. As you continue listening, something subtle begins to happen within you. It may not feel dramatic or overwhelming, but there is a gentle shift taking place, almost like your inner world is slowly coming into alignment. This is the moment Archangel Michael speaks about, the space where clarity does not arrive as answers, but as understanding. You begin to realize that many of the questions you carried were not meant to be solved immediately, but meant to guide you toward deeper awareness of yourself. You have spent a long time being strong in ways that were invisible to others. Holding emotions quietly. Thinking carefully before reacting. Choosing peace even when it felt easier to walk away or shut down. This inner discipline has shaped you more than you realize. Archangel Michael acknowledges this silently, reminding you that strength rooted in calm is far more powerful than strength fueled by urgency or force. There is a reason your soul is drawn toward reflection right now. Life has been moving quickly, and yet something inside you has been asking for stillness. Not escape, but presence. Not isolation, but clarity. When you pause long enough, you can feel the difference between what truly matters and what only demands attention. This awareness is the beginning of emotional balance returning to you. You may notice memories surfacing lately, not to disturb you, but to be understood from a new perspective. Old situations, past choices, or moments where you questioned yourself. These are not returning to weigh you down. They are returning because you are now strong enough to see them clearly, without judgment, without regret, and without needing to rewrite the past. Clarity allows you to release what no longer defines you. Archangel Michael's guidance in this moment is centered on trust. Trust in your ability to discern. Trust in your emotional intelligence. Trust that you do not need to rush into the next phase of your life without first understanding where you currently stand. Growth that is aligned does not feel chaotic. It feels grounded, even when it challenges you. You may feel more sensitive lately, more aware of energy, words, and silence. This sensitivity is not weakness. It is awareness sharpening itself. When you listen deeply, you begin to sense when something resonates with your values and when something quietly pulls you away from them. This discernment is part of your spiritual maturity unfolding. There is also an invitation here to soften your inner dialogue. You have been harder on yourself than necessary. Expecting clarity before allowing rest. Expecting answers before allowing peace. Archangel Michael gently reminds you that calm reflection is not a pause from growth, it is the environment where growth becomes sustainable. As clarity settles, you begin to understand that not everything requires immediate action. Some things require presence. Some require patience. Some require trust that insight will come when the timing is aligned. This understanding frees you from unnecessary pressure and brings a sense of emotional spaciousness. You are not being asked to change who you are. You are being invited to see who you already are with greater honesty and compassion. When awareness deepens, you stop trying to become someone else and start honoring your own pace, your own rhythm, and your own journey. This message continues to unfold because your heart remains open, not seeking validation, but understanding. And in that openness, clarity finds its way to you naturally, without resistance. As you remain present with this message, a deeper layer of awareness begins to open within you. It is not loud, and it does not demand attention, yet it is unmistakable. This is the kind of awareness that gently rearranges your inner world without forcing anything to change. You may notice that your thoughts feel slower, more intentional, as if your mind itself is learning how to breathe again. Archangel Michael speaks in this space of calm, where understanding arrives without effort and insight forms naturally. There has been a long period in your life where you learned to adapt rather than express, to observe rather than react, and to hold your emotions in a quiet, controlled way. This was not accidental. It trained your awareness to become sharp without becoming restless. Now, that awareness is turning into inner strength. Not the kind that pushes forward, but the kind that remains steady no matter what is happening around you. You are beginning to sense the difference between what truly belongs to you and what you have been carrying on behalf of others. Expectations, unspoken responsibilities, emotional weight that was never meant to be yours alone. This realization may feel subtle at first, but it is deeply transformative. When you recognize what is not yours to carry, your energy naturally returns to you. Clarity at this stage does not mean everything suddenly makes sense. Instead, it means you stop forcing meaning where patience is required. You begin to respect timing. You begin to trust pauses. You begin to understand that stillness is not emptiness, it is preparation. Archangel Michael's guidance here is about honoring your inner pace rather than matching the speed of the world around you. There may be moments where you feel a quiet emotional release, not through tears or strong reactions, but through acceptance. Acceptance of who you were, who you are, and who you are becoming. This acceptance does not limit growth, it creates a stable foundation for it. Without self-acceptance, progress feels exhausting. With it, progress feels natural. Your awareness is also sharpening your discernment. You are becoming more conscious of how certain environments, conversations, and even thoughts affect your inner state. This is not about avoidance, but alignment. When awareness deepens, you instinctively gravitate toward what feels balanced and step away from what disrupts your inner harmony. This is wisdom forming quietly. Archangel Michael emphasizes that your calm nature is not something you need to defend or explain. There is strength in not needing to prove yourself. There is power in knowing who you are without requiring constant affirmation. This self-assured calm will begin to influence how others interact with you, even if they cannot explain why they feel it. You may also notice that your intuition feels clearer now. Decisions no longer feel overwhelming because you are less driven by fear and more guided by inner clarity. Even when uncertainty remains, it no longer feels threatening. It simply feels unfinished, and you trust that understanding will come when it is meant to. This phase of awareness invites you to reconnect with yourself in simple ways. Moments of silence. Gentle routines. Honest reflection without self-criticism. These are not small things, they are the practices that keep your inner world grounded. When your inner world is stable, the outer world feels less demanding. There is a quiet reminder here that you are allowed to exist without constantly striving. Your worth is not measured by productivity, urgency, or comparison. It is measured by authenticity. Archangel Michael recognizes the authenticity in your journey, the way you continue forward with sincerity rather than force. As this understanding settles, you may feel a sense of emotional steadiness that was missing before. Not excitement, not intensity, but balance. This balance allows you to respond to life rather than react to it. It gives you space to choose wisely, to speak intentionally, and to act with clarity. This message continues to unfold because you are listening not just with your mind, but with your inner awareness. And in this awareness, quiet strength is forming, steady, grounded, and deeply rooted within you. As this message reaches its final layer, there is no rush for understanding, no need to grasp or interpret everything at once. What matters now is how gently this awareness settles inside you. Archangel Michael speaks in this space of stillness, where truth does not arrive as a sudden revelation, but as a quiet recognition of what you already felt deep within. This is the moment where calm stops being temporary and begins to feel like a foundation you can stand on. You may notice that your inner dialogue has softened. Thoughts no longer push each other for attention. Instead, they arrive slowly, with clarity, and leave without resistance. This shift is subtle but powerful. It shows that your mind is learning to trust silence just as much as it once trusted noise. In that silence, your intuition speaks more clearly, not through urgency, but through quiet certainty. There has been a long journey behind you, one that required patience, emotional endurance, and self-restraint. Many of your strongest moments were never seen by others because they happened internally. You chose understanding over reaction, reflection over impulse, and growth over comfort. These choices shaped your inner strength more than any external success ever could. Archangel Michael acknowledges this unseen work and honors the steadiness you have cultivated. Clarity now begins to express itself as acceptance. Not acceptance in the sense of giving up, but acceptance of reality as it is in this moment. When you stop resisting what is, your energy stops scattering. You conserve your strength. You become more present. This presence allows you to move forward without carrying unnecessary emotional weight from the past or anxiety about the future. You may begin to realize that peace does not mean everything around you becomes perfect. It means your inner state no longer depends on external conditions. When peace is internal, circumstances lose their power to destabilize you. This is one of the most profound forms of spiritual maturity, the ability to remain centered even when life feels uncertain. Archangel Michael reminds you that your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a refined awareness that allows you to perceive truth beneath surface appearances. Because of this sensitivity, you feel deeply, reflect deeply, and care deeply. When guided by awareness rather than fear, this sensitivity becomes wisdom. It allows you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. There is also a growing sense of trust within you. Trust in timing. Trust in your own discernment. Trust that clarity will come when it is meant to, not when it is forced. This trust reduces inner tension and allows decisions to feel more natural. You no longer need to analyze every possibility. You simply recognize what aligns with your inner calm and move accordingly. As this message continues to settle, you may feel a gentle emotional grounding, as if your inner world has found balance after a long period of adjustment. This balance does not demand attention, it supports you quietly. It shows up in how you speak, how you listen, and how you allow moments of stillness without feeling the need to fill them. You are also learning to value your inner boundaries. You understand that protecting your peace is not selfish, it is necessary. When your inner space is respected, your energy flows more freely, and your interactions become more genuine. You engage from authenticity rather than obligation. This phase of awareness invites you to slow down without stopping, to move forward without rushing, to grow without pressure. Archangel Michael's presence here is gentle, steady, and reassuring. It encourages you to continue listening inwardly, trusting that your inner compass is guiding you exactly where you need to be. Nothing about this message asks you to change who you are. Instead, it affirms who you have already become. Calm, reflective, aware, and quietly strong. These qualities are not temporary states, they are becoming part of your identity. And as they integrate fully, life begins to feel less overwhelming and more intentional. As this message completes its circle, allow yourself to remain in this calm awareness. There is nothing more to do in this moment. Just be present. Just breathe. Just trust that clarity, peace, and understanding are unfolding naturally within you. If this message brought even a small sense of calm into your heart, take a quiet moment before leaving. You may want to stay connected to messages that speak to awareness, clarity, and inner peace. When you feel ready, you can gently show your support. So similar reflections can continue reaching those who need them. Until then, carry this calm with you, and return whenever your heart feels called.